Hello guys, welcome back to the shop. I'm so glad to have you back. It is summertime. It is awesome. There are no classes, right? All the kids are out for school. Everybody's traveling, having fun, doing all this cool stuff. What's the last thing you're thinking about right now? School, right? Yeah, classes next year, next semester, what have you. Well, I've got a little something to show you guys today that you can work with your kids over the summer. And when classes come around in the fall, they'll have a little gift to give to their teacher. And this is it right here, guys. It's just an apple, right? See that? Apple. What teachers don't like apples? All teachers love apples. Obviously, I'm no longer in school. I'm a little too old for that. But my wife's sister is actually a high school teacher. So I started off trying to think of something nice to make her. And actually, this was going to be a bandsaw box. It was going to be a very small bandsaw box. As you can see, it would not have been very practical. You'll see shortly, but I couldn't even fit my finger inside of the drawer. So it was very useless. So I kind of pivoted and went with this little Apple pen / pencil holder. And it's not just limited to pencils. This little puppy can hold paper clips, thumbtacks, even that annoying kid's cell phone in the front of the class. It can't really do that. But anyway, this is Purple Heart and Maple that I made this with. So it's a nice little hardwood design, but it's actually kind of easy to make. All you really need is a bandsaw, some wood glue and clamps, and you can make this with your kid over the summer for their teacher, especially if you want to start off being the teacher's pet. But anyway, let's get into it, guys. You can see how I pivoted from scrap wood to bandsaw box to this pencil holder. Hey guys, welcome back. So before we get into making the bandsaw box today that I just showed you, I wanted to just explain that this is actually a scrap wood project. So a couple of weeks ago, I made a couple of these bandsaw boxes, and when I cut out the carcass for the drawer of these boxes, it left me with quite a bit of scrap. And this is Purple Heart and Maple, and I really didn't want to waste this, so I was trying to think of something to do. My wife's sister is getting married soon, and she is actually a high school English teacher. So I thought, what better project to do than to actually make a little Apple bandsaw box for her that she can put on her desk at work. So maybe this is something you guys can work with one of your kids for one of their teachers, or maybe you're a teacher yourself and you would like to do this. Or maybe you just like apples and you want to make a little Apple bandsaw box. But yeah, so you can see I kind of went through and printed out a few stencils and was trying to find the right size for my scrap. But this is just some clip art. I mean, it's pretty easy to find online for any kind of design that you really want to do. But the first thing I need to do is actually I need to trim this down because this is way too long for the size of apple that I'm going to be putting on the front of this here. So I'll probably take a little bit of it off just to make it proportion, and then I'll stick this to the front of it and we'll get started at the bandsaw. So I just kind of eyeballed it and decided to take about 1.25 inches as the final depth for this box. And it was really close to the blade, so I've decided to try to use a clamp to hold this to my artificial fence. We'll see if it holds up. Alright guys, so I've went ahead and cut out my stencil. And I'm just going to use some adhesive spray on the back of it. Just a little bit will do the trick. Then we're just going to stick it on the wood. Just make sure it sticks on really good. You really don't want it coming loose when you're running it through the bandsaw. Now we just need to follow along the outline over on the bandsaw. I just want to take a second while I'm making these first few cuts on the bandsaw and thank you guys for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or learned something, I'd like to ask you to hit that subscribe button and maybe even drop a like. It really helps me grow this channel and make more content that you guys are interested in. As always, if you have any questions on this project, leave them below and I'll be sure to answer. Thanks guys. Next, we got to cut off the backside before we cut out the middle. I just drew this line roughly around the inside of the apple here, and I'm going to try to follow it at the bandsaw. It's really not too terribly important I stick to it though. So I just clamped this together temporarily to see how the middle would fit. And I accidentally took too much off when cutting it out, and now it's just a little too loose. You can see there's quite a bit of play in there. Luckily I have another piece of scrap that I can try to mimic this middle with. So I just placed my apple outline on the scrap and traced it with a pencil. Nice purple heart sawdust glitter there. Go ahead and remove the excess paper off your apple, because the longer it sits on there, the harder it's going to be to peel it all off. You want to make sure you get it all off, including the adhesive residue. After I scrape the bulk of it off, I used some 320 grit sandpaper to just lightly brush off the rest and leave me with a smoother surface to work with. Now that it's all cleaned up, we just need to glue our seam that we cut when we were removing the inside. Use whatever you have available to shove the glue in that small opening. I used the end of my glue brush. Then we just gotta clamp it up and wipe away that excess glue squeeze out. Once it's all cleaned up and glued up, we'll leave it clamped for an hour or so, just to let it dry. So here you'll see me split my other scrap piece. I thought it'd be a good idea to have as much intact scrap as possible, and little did I know this would be an excellent decision. So you guys remember how I was just talking about that intact scrap? Well, this is that other scrap piece, because I just screwed up my second attempt at this drawer. So if you're keeping count, this is attempt number 3, y'all. But don't you guys worry, I'm going to be needing that other piece that I just messed up here in just a second. So I'm just carving out the middle of my drawer here. Watch your fingers here, guys. Looks pretty good. Guys, this is where everything went wrong. Or at least when I realized it had. If you know anything about bandsaw boxes, you know you need to cut the front and the back off the drawer before carving out the middle. In my happiness of finally getting a drawer that fit perfectly, I had skipped this very crucial step. But it's okay, guys, don't worry. Remember that second middle piece I screwed up a minute ago? Turns out it's roughly the same size I need, and I can just cut from that and sand to the exact shape to fit. So now I'm just measuring how much to cut off my drawer so it still sits flush in the apple. Man, I'm sure glad nothing else could possibly go wrong with this small, simple, easy build. Alright guys, at this point I'm having a little bit of a dilemma because I'm realizing how small this box is actually going to be, and it's really not going to be very usable or really usable at all. If you look at the drawer that's going to go inside of this box, this is basically the carcass and it's all hollowed out, but I mean, I can't even fit my finger down inside of it, so it's like, what would you even put inside of this box? I don't know. I'm kind of debating with just leaving this hollowed out and sanding it really well and finishing it and just giving it to her as kind of a decorative little knick-knack for her desk. But I'm not sure. I mean, I've already come this far. I really don't want to give up on the box, but I don't think it's going to be practical at all. And if I turn this into a box, then I'm going to be gluing the back on here. And if I do that, then it's going to have to be used as a box. It's not really, you can't use it as the decorative little see-through thing anymore. I don't know, maybe I could do that and leave it hollow so she could put stuff in it and just leave it like this. Maybe. Or maybe she could even set it up right like this and just drop things down in it. and then get them out like that. I don't know. I'm going to think about it for a second before I move forward. All right, guys, I think I've come up with what I'm going to do. So I like the last idea I had where I go ahead and I glue this back of the box on like that. And basically act like it's going to be a bandsaw box, but instead of putting the actual drawer inside of it, which is useless because this is too small, I think I'm just going to glue the back on and leave it like this. And I will put some flocking inside of it here, like some suede material, and then she can set it down on her desk like so. And then she can use it to keep like paper clips or tacks or even pencils, you know, like kind of like that, maybe 1 or 2 pencils. It's not exactly what I wanted to do originally, but at least this way she can use it, you know. I want it to be useful. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pull a Ross Geller and pivot here. And I'm gonna make an Apple pencil / paperclip holder for her desk. You're going to want to put masking tape on the front so you don't accidentally get any adhesive on the face of your project. Then you just coat the inside with the adhesive. Make sure the adhesive color matches your flocking color. I chose black for this project. Then you want to put your project in a large bin because this stuff gets everywhere. Also, make sure you're wearing a dust mask to keep from breathing in these small fibers. I even use a box fan set up with a cheap air filter to catch any wandering flocking. I let it sit in the bin for 2 to 3 days and then dump out all the excess flocking. You can never apply too much flocking, so just kind of go wild with it. Alright guys, I think that pretty much does it. I got all the flocking in there. I've let it dry for a couple of days, and honestly, I think it looks beautiful. I got all the extra flocking out, knocked it out against the side of the bin. It looks like it all came out. Fingers clean, so I think I got all of it off. I think she's gonna love it. I mean, it's nothing huge, you know, it's a small little thing, but I mean, I think it's pretty, it's simple, it's something for her to just, you know, put on her desk. All right guys, so the moment of truth. Does it actually work? So I mean, she could easily hold 2, maybe 3 pencils or pens in here. And I think it's kind of cute. I think she's gonna love it. So I'm really excited to give this to her. We actually fly up in just a couple of weeks for her wedding, so I got it done just in time. Why don't you come in for a closer look? Alright guys, I think that's going to wrap it up for us today. Let me know what you think. Do you think that she's going to like the bandsaw box better, or do you think that she's going to like this better? I think she's going to like this better because it's actually got a purpose, but let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Just let me know. But yeah guys, if you enjoyed watching me build this today, make sure you subscribe so that way you don't miss my future projects. I do have a couple already kind of in the works that'll be coming out shortly after this. So you don't want to miss out on those. Make sure you subscribe, like this video, and like I said, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think I made the right pivot or not. You know, I mean, sometimes life gives us these little happy accidents that allows us to make something that's even more useful than what we were going to make originally. And if you guys do want to build this, just check out the description. I've got links to everything I used to build this down there. It'll help you get an easy start on it. And let me know if you decide to build it. I would be really interested, and I would actually like to see some of the results. So if you think this is something you can make with your kid, that they can make for their teacher or something like that, I think that the teachers would really enjoy this. But that's going to be it from me today, guys. But whatever you do until the next time we see each other, keep making sawdust. Guys, you can see how I pivoted from scrap piece of wood to bandsaw box.